Y'all want to see a ridiculous camera? This is an Alexa 35 with a Canon 17-120. Pretty much, you couldn't make a documentary look much better. And this is not mine. It belongs to another David Ekampora. He's a freelancer, a DP, shoots for a lot of the bigger organizations like UFC, PFL. One of those people who is always traveling in a different state, a different country. This is Sam. He's our director for the day. And I've actually got to work with Dave once before in this vlog, but I love seeing someone who's experienced because you just learn so much. You can see the things that they're doing that because they've been in situations in the past and they don't want to do it like that. They want to improve on it, or they're trying to avoid problems from happening. He gave me a bunch of valuable pieces of advice, but just being able to watch him, being on the same set as him, and just see how he moves, I felt like it was a one-day film school. Like, the fact that I'm getting paid, getting better experience, learning, it just seems like a perfect situation for me. So when I get to be on these types of crews, it's really nice. But I kind of jumped in really quick, so let me tell you what this job is about. One-day shoot in New Jersey. We're following a couple characters. I got this beefy boy so that I could shoot all the way across the mats and get a close-up. I assume you guys take on a wide variety of work like myself, but I really do love when I can get into some documentary shoots. So following a character, thinking of where are they going to go, where they're going to be, what should I be looking out for, you really change your operational skill and your decision-making process because it's so dependent on your character and you need to learn about them. We had a couple different ones here, and I just needed to stay on my toes, seeing where are they, what are they doing. Quick breakfast, and this setup is working really well. The only thing is it's a little front heavy, especially when I zoom. So I actually need to move this base plate, the quick release, forward so that I can move everything backwards. Because if I loosen this, it tilts. The majority of the day I'm on the Tamron 150-600, but for these OTFs, I need to switch it to the 24-70 Mark II GM lens. So I was told to find a location for an OTF. I think this hallway is gonna have the best variety. So we'll have them framed on the left third, somewhere around here. And that blue backlight, it's kind of just give like a little blue rim, but not be too overwhelming. Let me know who else has had this issue. It's a really important soft skill to know when to interrupt and stop something in order to make it better. That has happened to me so many times before, and I would usually not do it because I was shy or insecure or I didn't want to mess up the flow. But what I was doing was letting a problem persist. In this case, this is just simple. The wire was showing, so I just tucked it in. I'm talking more about maybe the microphone, the lapel mic is getting scratchy, or they're leaning back and now the framing is off completely. Big issues where once you'll finish, you'll bring it up and the producer might look at you and say, why didn't you say that? Why didn't you fix it? Now I'm understanding that they are leaving this role to you. They want you to put all of your creative effort into it as long as it falls under the guidelines, and they want you to stop problems before they happen, stop them before they become bigger. They are purchasing, hiring your intellect, your experience, and your ability to improve the production. That doesn't mean overtake their creative ideas, but it does mean to facilitate and correct things as you see them happen. Director said he wanted 20% of this in S&Q, so let me just show you a little bit of the gameplay. So just shooting at 60 frames per second, conformed in camera to 24, of course no audio. He was resetting the fighters. One of the unique rules with ADCC is if it goes off the mat, they do not immediately stop the action. So you'll get these situations where if you're on the front line, you're basically in the splash zone. That includes media, anyone. The fighters are going to keep going to continue their action and their movement. And I was warned about this several times because stuff like this happens. And, you know, if you got your camera there, you're in the way. I am cross-shooting with the other David, so he is in charge of getting all of the gameplay, the action on the mat, and then I have this ISO angle of the coach, and I can hear exactly what he's saying because his audio is getting fed into my camera, even though both of ours have time code. And this is a huge advantage. I've been on other documentary sets where the sound is all going to a dedicated sound guy, but they give me a sound return so that I can hear the characters, and that makes a massive difference. There was one point in here where a coach was talking to his fighter, and the fighter went and kind of like ran out of the conference hall. Normally for me, that would have been, okay, I'm going to stop recording. I can't see him, don't know where he is. But because I could hear their conversation happening, they were both mic'd, I could see the need for me to go out into the hall to go and follow this story, and I got an amazing scene that I would never have been able to capture if I didn't have that sound return. So here I am just transferring cards off. I'm using my V90 SD cards. It's not the fastest transfer. I've really been thinking about getting some larger capacity CF Express. They have the terabyte cards from Angel Bird, $500 a pop, which is not too bad. I learned that the Alexa takes $3,000 cards, so you know I don't have it too bad with my CF Express. It's so nice using the Sony UWP system because we have one transmitter on one character, and then I always have a second one here to put on whoever I need. We are moving gear, but we're not done with the shoot. There is one scheduled interview to happen in a hotel room. Dave took it upon himself to set it up extremely fast. I think it was within 30 minutes. He kind of knew what he was going to do. So I didn't know what we were going to walk into, and I was really surprised to see it was a single light setup. Talking about that experience I mentioned earlier, I definitely would have added in a whole bunch of different fixtures. There was just one big light with a softbox and a milk crate, and then a practical. Here's what it looks like on the Alexa. So you see the lamp is not clipping. The key light was able to be matched in color temp because it was a 300X, and then you get that little background view. And it just looks beautiful. I think I would have overcomplicated it. So my camera, I borrowed an 85mm, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. Made sure that it did not have the lamp in there. That was one of his notes. And this specific interview just reminded me of like how well and efficient your rig needs to be, because we had to do this extremely fast, in and out, less than 11 minutes. And you can't waste time working on your camera, adjusting this and that. It just doesn't help the situation at all. That all needs to be done beforehand. And the Sigma was actually a really nice upgrade. I'm not a big prime guy, but I do see how nice it makes the image. This one was 1.4 and had a manual aperture ring. And having autofocus is always nice for the B camera when it's tighter. And I don't know how to avoid this, but the Sony UWP is just an amazing system. It's probably just the right system. You don't even need this battery slot for AA's if you're using the hot shoe, because you can get phantom power through there. And then probably the thing that I'm most impressed with is the two transmitters have an on and off switch right here. I don't need to go through the menu. I don't need to do whatever. If I know that I need to cut my second channel, boom, hit the switch and it's gone. I can focus on my first channel. It's just very, very efficient, and I'm seeing how valuable that is. This is what a DP at my level brings. Basically camera package and sticks, small light. This is what a DP at a much higher level brings. I always like comparing, contrasting practices, products, accessories. It's pretty obvious how much I like my newfound access to airport lounges, and I try to go to them as much as I can, but I think I found my new strategy, which is I go there after I arrive. Some lounges let you do that, so I'm just going to stop in and grab some refreshments. If I have to wait for my bags to come out of baggage claim, might as well wait in there. Way better. Yeah, all of the passengers for my flight are still waiting here. So that lounge is not a Amex Centurion lounge. It is under the Priority Pass. They give you this, which is access to a whole another network of lounges. They're not as nice, but my airport doesn't have one. So I'm just glad that we do have a lounge that falls within this category. I'm doing a bunch of client admin right now. It seems like everybody wants to book for March and April, and I have so many dates that are just overlapping by one day, or the client is now changing the timeline. So I'm just trying to tell everybody, yes, I can, no, I can't, all that stuff. And I think it's gonna make my life easier to just order the Sony UWPs. I had such great experiences with them these past couple jobs. I think I'm just gonna get it. And I even have a job that's requesting a stick mic. So I do have the little plastic handle for a Rode Go. I don't own a Rode Go. I could borrow one. But I know Sony has some other stick mic options, and then it would go into the UWP as well. So I wasn't really wanting to spend $1,200 on a new wireless mic set, but I do feel fortunate that I could have all these test experiences, and yeah, I think it's the right call. And also, the Tamron 35 to 150 could be the right call. I don't need it though. But man, is that a beautiful, sharp lens. It's big. I wish it was bigger. I wish it just stayed extended length and had an aperture ring and image stabilization. It was parfocal, but it's a powerful, powerful lens that is absolutely perfect for documentary and corporate work, which is the world that I mostly exist in.